Alrighty, it's 8:12. Whoa, something in my throat. But yeah, class isn't until 9, so we're still gonna make it on time. Still gonna get to our classes. We're good there, which was the goal. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna take a rest day today, but this morning definitely wanted to get some extra sleep in me. Not a huge deal since I don't really have anything going on in the evening. As long as I'm going to bed at a reasonable time, you know, I'd like to go to the gym early, at least a few times a week. But if it comes down to it, you know, it's not a huge deal. As long as we're getting up or going to bed at the same time, getting up, going to our classes, I'm good with that. So, yeah. But, yeah, I had some scary dreams. I don't even know. They weren't even like dreams. They were just like, let me know if you guys think this too. But like, sometimes, I guess, I don't know. I've always been like a fan of like horror movies. Always wanted to like find something that like scares me. And like, my brain just does an excellent job of that. It just knows exactly what does scare me. And yeah, I don't know. It'll give me like the most terrifying things possible in my head randomly at like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. You know what I mean? But that was good because Riegers came and jumped up into my bed and was laying with me, so I was good. But yeah, regardless, it wasn't bad sleep or like super bad nightmares, but you know, is there such thing as a pleasant nightmare? Oh, and there's the little lady. Come on, come on, it's okay. Yeah, she's tired. But yeah, so right ahead school, gonna make it to class on time. So let's do it. 8:43, we're walking to school. Dude, it is rainy. It is nasty. Let's get in here because it's not optimal. Not a very beautiful day. Quite nasty out. So yeah, let's get into shelter. 4 o'clock on the, well, no, not on the dot quite yet. 3:53. It's sprinkling, so let me update you in the car. Alright, 3:56. We're in the car. Finally, it's just rainy. It's nasty. But we're done with school. We're done with work. Both classes. Went to work. It's been a consistent, good day. Yes. Right now, we are heading home. We're gonna grab an outfit to work out in. I said it. We're gonna go home. We're gonna start our laundry. We're gonna change. We're gonna head to the gym. We're hitting legs. I know. I know. It doesn't sound appealing to me either, but it's got to be done. It's got to be done. So we'll get that knocked out, and I think Elisa's gonna come over. And we're gonna work on this Bengals mural. This thing needs some work. So, yeah. After I'm done with the gym, she's gonna head over. We'll grind out some of that, take out my laundry, whatnot. But yeah, good little day at school. First class was our foundations class. Not too bad. We're just kind of learning, at least right now, like more about like abstract expressionism. But like what we're doing is, I think I told you guys, we were doing like value scales, like from black to white, the progression of colors and value. And now we're applying that into abstract expressionism. So just at first, drawing out on these little like note card things what our idea will be. I've gone through quite a few, but I feel like each one's gotten better. And I've talked with my teacher pretty much after like every 1 or 2 that I've done. And I think I've got this one down pretty good. So we're gonna start painting Monday and get that knocked out. And then on my other class, informal geometry, we talked about Kepler's art exhibit theory, I think. It's pretty much just like how to find out how many cameras you need to see an art exhibit. I don't know. It's a weird theorem, but it's interesting. That class never fails to amaze me, truthfully. It's just always like such different topics that I would have never known about. He does a really good job of just teaching it, dumbing it down for people like me. And the class is only 50 minutes, so it goes by real quick. We got out decently early too, like 1:40 something. So yeah. And then like I said, went to work, grinded that out. We're here. Ate a little bit of pizza, and now we're here. So my eyes look crazy though. My eyes look crazy. But let's head to the house and do all that stuff. I guess we could do leg day. I guess we could do it. But like I said this morning, just debating on a rest day. Because I mean, I can really pick and choose. I just only get like 2 in the week. So, yeah. But I realized, it's leg day. It's a leg day, and it's a rainy and nasty day. It's like, sometimes you just have to accept when the universe is telling you to go do it. So, let's head home so I can stop lollygagging. Let's get to it. Alright, we're home. It's like 4:30. But dude, that ride home, it showed me how tired I am. I mean, I was really like falling asleep, so don't hate me, but I think we might do a rest day. I'm sorry, but that just means that we'll go tomorrow morning and knock it out. But yeah, just exhausted though. So as much as I would love to, get dressed, drive all the way out there, and skip a bunch of pre-workout just to be able to hit a medium leg day, might just have to wait and go hard in the motherfucking paint tomorrow morning. Plus, I think Elisa's about done with her class, so she'll probably head over, and that should be a good nap time, just until she gets here. So yeah, and I need to. Is that a bee? Dude, the last surviving one. He's just flying around my car. It's like, dude, I missed you. I mean, there's no point in me even flipping it, because I don't know if I can catch the little feller, but that is a bee flying around right now. Wow. The things you see here in Kentucky, baffling. Actually, I'll leave my hat back there. But, yeah, so that's the plan. I know, not the greatest thing you want to hear. I know how much you guys would love to see my juicy thunder thighs after a pump. But, yeah, we're going to hold off, so I will keep you updated, though. Keep you updated. Guys, Aaron McAdams is awesome. He sent me this t-shirt. Awesome. Let me see if I can just set this up. Just even right there. Just like that. Looks pretty cool. Might turn into a muscle tee, to be honest with you. Might not be bad. And I just start raging in the gym on a leg day. And then he sent me this. Dude, he already built it too, which is honestly awesome, but it's like a Lego Bugatti thing. That is my favorite color scheme, yellow and black, so that's pretty awesome. If I bought a Bugatti, it would be that one. Which, yeah, it's definitely gonna happen. I'm manifesting it right now. I will own this Bugatti. But, yeah, that thing's pretty fucking sweet, so it's going on our shelf. It's definitely still a work in progress with the shelf, but hey, looks awesome. Thank you, Aaron, and everybody else who sent me stuff. Love you guys, and everybody else. I love everybody. Alrighty, y'all. It is 8:15. Elisa's over here. Pretty much been laying in bed until she got here, just because I might be up a little bit later than normal, but keeping to the schedule for the most part, because I know I got to get up early. So right now, I'm gonna start my laundry, get that knocked out, and then I think I'm gonna do drawing on the right side of the brain because she's doing some homework, and then we'll probably spend 30-45 minutes doing that mural. So yeah, but that's what's going on right now. Gonna have to time all this pretty well, like I said, just so that we follow this sleep schedule and are not up too late. But yeah, figured I'd give you guys a little update on what is going on. So let's do this laundry and drawing on the right side of the brain finally. All right, y'all, let me turn this up brightness wise. All right, 8:30. I'm a little hot. I just hit some boxing on the bag, nothing crazy, but just got me hot. Honestly, might have to open up the door. Also, I stopped that dripping in the background. Last time I was down here and I was recording, I remember hearing this dripping. I'm like, dude, what is that? Yeah, there was just a little water constantly, so I stopped that. If you didn't hear it, I guess ignore that, but if you did, you know, I don't know. There's a benefit to both of us, I guess. We're back here. We're back. Lisa's upstairs doing her homework. I'm down here doing mine. We are now on chapter 3, drawing on the right side of the brain. The title of chapter 3 is Your Brain, the Right and the Left of It. Here it shows a self-portrait of Edgar Degas, red chalk on laid paper. Degas was a passionate viewer of modern life in 19th century France, once leaving a cafe with his friend, English painter Walter Sickert. Degas objected when Sickert summoned a closed horse-drawn cab. Personally, he said, I love to ride on the omnibus. You can look at people. We were created to look at one another, weren't we? So dude was a 19th century freaking pervert or something. 18th century. No, 19th century French freaking pervert. But no, I understand how it relates to this. Like him being an artist and wanting to look at people, because this book has stated numerous times that once you get to a certain level, the artistic part of your brain kind of takes over in daily life. So it's like faces that you see, like all of them are different, so you almost kind of want to look at them and study them in a sense. So interesting. A lot of stuff going on here. I kind of want to, because it's a lot of words. I don't know if you guys would want me to just sit here and read it all. I'm kind of debating this. Like, I'm going to read it regardless. I just want to make sure that, you know, I'm not just boring you guys. Here's what I'll do. Because it just split up into these semi-little paragraphs and things. I could just, like, summarize every time I read something. We could do that. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, though, for next time. Because I feel like the last time it wasn't as wordy. This time it's straight words, so let me know. Whether I should just read it, just go for it. Probably be a lot of words, well, yeah, and longer clips, so let me know. But if not, I'll just do what I'm doing, or about to do, where I read it, kind of summarize it for you guys. So yeah, I guess let's get to reading now. Yeah, so I'm reading through this. I already missed you guys. I want to talk about I don't know. I think I can read at a pace to where hopefully it won't be too boring. As of Noir, I kind of look like crap right now. I woke up and then, yeah, so rocking the Find X shirt. It's right here, dude. Anyway, so pretty much what this first little bit is talking about is despite centuries of study and thought and the accelerating rate of knowledge in recent years, the human brain still engenders awe and wonder at its marvelous capabilities, not the least of which is the fact that our plastic brains can grow new brain cells and can form new neural pathways. Scientists have targeted visual perception in particular with highly precise studies, yet vast mysteries still prevail. We simply take for granted many of the brain's capabilities because they are out of our conscious awareness. Even the most ordinary activities are awe-inspiring, as Francis Crick, co-discoverer of the structure of DNA, so eloquently states. One of the most amazing capabilities of our human brain is the ability to record our perceptions in drawings. Since I propose that learning how to draw is greatly facilitated by some basic understanding of the role of brain functions in drawing. This is a good place for a brief review before we start the exercise. So, yeah. I have to spit out that gum if I'm going to be able to read eloquently. Yeah, I kind of digested what it was saying, but yeah, pretty much just talking about how fascinating the brain is, which it definitely is. But it does say that we will be starting an exercise here soon, so. The next subheading is the double brain. Seen from above, the human brain resembles the halves of a walnut. Two similar appearing convoluted rounded brain halves, separated by a longitudinal fissure and mainly connected by the corpus callosum, a thick band of nerve fibers. Most people are aware that the left hemisphere controls the right side of the body, and the right hemisphere the left side. I did not know that. Due to this crossing over of the nerve pathways, the right hand is controlled by the left hemisphere, and the left hand is controlled by the right brain, as shown in figure 3.2, right here. As a result of extraordinary work by neuroscientists over the past 60 years, we now know that despite our normal feeling that we are one person, a single being, our mental functions are divided between the two cerebral hemispheres. While the hemispheres are visually similar, each has its own way of knowing its own way of perceiving external reality. Information passes from one side to the other by means of the corpus callosum, thus preserving our sense of oneself. But scientists now recognize that the corpus callosum can also inhibit such passage. It appears that each hemisphere may have a way of keeping knowledge from the other hemisphere. Therefore, it may be true, as the old saying goes, that at times the right hand truly does not know what the left is doing. Wow, that's actually quite crazy. So, the little split you see in the brain, I'll fold it around. Yeah, you guys have all seen a picture. There's the left and right hemispheres, and then there's this corpus callosum or whatever it is. Yeah, wow, I actually got that right. Corpus callosum is that middle split, and it's pretty much all these nerve endings, and it tells one side, what the other's doing, and that's why you're able to connect with your hands with other sides. But sometimes it doesn't tell, information. I don't know, but I think that's quite crazy. From an evolutionary standpoint, the why of this asymmetrical design is still largely under study. Scientists once thought that only human brains had separate and different functions located lateralized in each hemisphere. Recent studies of birds, fish, and primates, however, suggest that asymmetrical brains are common in many vertebrates, and animal studies indicate that lateralized brains are more efficient, which may help explain the asymmetrical design. The two human hemispheres can work together in a number of ways. They can cooperate with each half contributing its special capabilities. At other times, one hemisphere function more or less as the leading hemisphere, and the other following. And research also shows that the hemispheres can conflict, one half attempting to do what the other half knows it can do better. Wow. You guys are fighting up there. Wow. For the past 200 years or so, scientists have known that language and language-related capabilities are mainly located in the left hemispheres of the majority of individuals. For approximately 98% of right-handers, it's me, and about 2/3 of left-handers, this knowledge was largely derived from observations of effects of brain injuries. It was apparent, for example, that an injury to the left side of the brain was more likely to cause a loss of speech capability than an injury of equal severity to the right. Because speech and language are such vitally important human capabilities, 19th century scientists named the left hemisphere the dominant or major hemisphere, and named the right the subordinate or minor hemisphere. Reflecting these labels, the general view, which prevailed until fairly recently, was that the right half of the brain was less advanced and less evolved than the left half. Interesting. So just because your left hemisphere controls your speech capability and your language and all that, which are definitely important, so that was the major. Okay, wow. A lot of this I did not know. I find it interesting because, I mean, all of us have brains, and we pretty much are just brains walking around with flesh and bone. Now, sometimes I honestly be thinking like that. Like, that is weirdly crazy. Like, we're really just a brain controlling all of this. Maybe I've done too many psychedelics. Let's calm down. But it's definitely a thought. It's weird. But yeah, so a mute twin with lower level capabilities. They're talking about the right side. Directed and carried along by the verbal left hemisphere. Among some scientists, the bias against the right hemisphere went even deeper. They considered the right brain to be more on the level of animals and not capable of high human level cognition, a sort of stupid brain half. Dude, come on. Today, that biased view has changed, largely due to groundbreaking and brilliant Nobel Prize winning research, the 1950 animal studies and the 1960s human split brain studies by Roger W. Sperry, shout out him, and his students Ronald Myers, Colwyn Treleaven, Michael Garzinga. Okay, now they're just making up all these people, and others at the California Institute of Technology. Neuroscientists, somewhat reluctantly at first, came to recognize that both hemispheres are involved in high human level cognition, with each half of the brain specialized for different modes of thinking, both being extremely complex. But what you might well ask, does this have to do with learning how to draw? Research on brain hemisphere aspects of visual perception indicates that drawing a complex, realistic image of a perceived form is mainly a function of the right hemisphere of the brain. As I've mentioned, to avoid the so-called location controversy, I have termed right brain functions R mode and left brain functions L mode. No matter where located in the individual brain, learning to draw well may depend on whether you can find a way to access the minor or subdominant R mode. Quotes, yes, in 2012, the right brain is still termed the lesser of the two. Old biases die hard. How does this help a person draw? Yeah, I'm asking my same thing that right now. Wow. English, Carter. It appears that the right brain perceives
processes visual information in a mode suitable for drawing, and that the left brain mode of functioning, L mode, may be inappropriate for the task. Dirty bastard. Because of the strength and dominance of the L mode, the problem we confront is how to set aside the L mode in order to access the R mode at the conscious level. So pretty much our left side of our brain is so overpowering that we need to learn to kind of tap into this side. How are you doing? You don't get enough love, apparently, dude. I didn't know this. I thought it was all one, but it's news to me. But yeah, so this is the side that's doing the drawing. It's also my side with my art eye, my special magic eye. Whoa. No, but yeah, so that's strange. That's the side that mainly works on drawing. I hope I'm making this a little bit more interesting than just reading it bar for bar, word for word. Here, let's see here. I gotta find somewhere to kind of stop. So what? We started on page 28. Okay. 28. So it goes from page 28 to 43. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16. So 8 pages is half. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we'll read to page 35 here. Perfect. Okay. So, sorry, I'm trying not to make this too long, too boring. Again, let me know in the comments what I should do, if I should change it up. I'm always open to it. But yeah, so. Language clues reflect a long-held bias against the right brain. That's the title. In hindsight, we realize that human beings, perhaps from the beginning, have had some sense of the differences between the halves of the brain, and have shared the negative bias. Languages worldwide contain numerous words and phrases suggesting that the left side of a person's body, linked to and controlled by the right brain, has characteristics that are inferior to the right side of the body. Most of these phrases speak of hands, not of brain halves. But because of the crossover connections of hands and hemispheres, the terms must be inferred to also mean the hemispheres that control the hands. Okay? Therefore, the examples of the familiar terms for hands in the next section refer specifically to the left and right hands, but also refer inferentially to the opposite brain halves. The left hand controlled by the right hemisphere and the right hand controlled by the left brain. So it's got like all these words down here. It says parallel ways of knowing. Intellect, intuition, convergent, divergent, digital, analog, secondary, primary. Okay, so just like pretty much almost like opposites. Okay. Strange. Words and phrases referring to left and right hands indicate not just bodily location, but deep differences in fundamental traits or qualities as well. The right hand, inferring also to the left hemisphere, is strongly connected with what is good, just, moral, and proper. The left hand, therefore, also the right hemisphere, is strongly linked with concepts of anarchy and feelings that are out of verbal control and somehow bad or immoral or dangerous. In religious literature, the devil is said to be left-handed. My brother's left-handed. Little evil bastard. If you're watching this, Lou, you're a little evil bastard. The devil, you're left-handed. Yeah. But in Ephesians 3-11, Christ sits at the right hand of God. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, gosh, I felt a sneeze. We're good. From ordinary life, a left-handed compliment, meaning a sly dig, refers to the okay. the pejorative qualities assigned to left hand, right brain. A right-handed compliment would to be call someone my right-hand man or woman, meaning my good or strong helper. Wow. I never really picked up on all these little lingos. Hand phrases can indicate conflict or disagreement between the two sides. For example, if we want to compare conflicting ideas, we usually say with gestures, on one hand, but on the other hand. Until very recently, the ancient bias against the left hand, the right hemisphere of the brain, even led some parents and teachers of naturally left-handed children to force the children to use right hands for writing, eating, and sometimes for sports, a practice that often caused problems lasting into adulthood, such as stammering, difficulty learning to read, and right and left direction. Yeah, I remember as a kid, oh my god, dude, this just gave me a flashback. I'll say it real quick, but I remember being in elementary school. I mean, maybe second or first grade, like when we're learning to write in class, right? And I remember this kid was like writing with his left hand, like he wasn't writing with his right one. And the teacher was getting so mad at him, like, no, you have to write with your right hand. No. He's like, I can't. I like physically can't. I can't. She was like, no, I'm clipping you down. And clipped him into like the freaking red. And I was like, I turned away. I was like, dude, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened to you. But, so yeah, I don't know. Obviously, there might be more to that story. But this is very interesting. I never realized that there was like this bias that right hands were better than left hands. But I feel like left-handed people are very special. You know what I mean? So if you're left-handed, screw what the ancient texts and scrolls for thousands of years say. I think you're cool. So, yeah. And this shows like some Aztec pictures. Aztecs in early Mexico used the left hand for medicine for kidney trouble, when the right when curing the liver. In a rare exception, the Incas of ancient Peru considered left-handedness a sign of good fortune. There you go. Maya Indians favored the right side of the body. The twitching of the soothsayer's left leg foretold disaster. These are very interesting. I never realized this stuff. Directional confusion. Yeah, okay, sounds right. There is no acceptable justification for teachers or parents to force a change. Yeah. Reasons preferred run from writing with the left hand look so uncomfortable to the world is set up for right-handers and my left-handed child would be at a disadvantage. These are not good reasons, and I believe they often mask an inherent prejudice against left-handedness. Preach. Left-handed people's lives matter. A prejudice rapidly disappearing. I'm happy to report that is true. Perhaps the fact that 6 of our recent American presidents have been left-handed has helped ease prejudice. Harry Truman, Gerald Ford, Ronald Reagan, who possibly was ambidextrous, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama. Shout out to them. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So we just have this little bit and then this next page. So run through it. The title for this one: Worldwide Culture in Historical Terms of Prejudice. Wow, I've been recording for 20 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. Terms with connotations of good for the right hand / left hemisphere and connotations of bad for the left hand or right hemisphere appear in most languages around the world. The Latin word for left is sinister, meaning ominous or treacherous. The Latin word for right is dexter, which comes from our word dexterity, meaning skill or adroitness. The French word for left, remember that the left hand is controlled by the right hemisphere, is gauche, meaning awkward, naive, or ill-mannered, from which comes our word gawky. Give me that gawky. Alright, never mind. The French word is right for the right hand is droit, meaning good, virtuous, truthful, and high-minded. The derogatory meaning of left may reflect a discomfort or suspicion directed by the right-handed majority against the minority of people who were different, that is, left-handed. In English, the word left comes from the Anglo-Saxon left, meaning weak or worthless. The left hand of most right-handed people is in fact weaker than the right, but the original word also implied lack of moral strength. Reinforcing this bias, the Anglo-Saxon word for right, or is right, but it's spelled R-I-H-T, meant straight or just. From right in its Latin cognate rectus. Okay, now they're just like making shit up. We derived our words correct and rectitude. These ideas are also reflected in our political vocabulary. The political right, for instance, admires national power and individual responsibility and resists change. The political left, conversely, admires people, power, and social responsibility and favors change. At their most extreme, the political right is fascist and the political left is anarchist. Whoa, this is getting deep. I was just trying to learn how to draw. In the context of cultural customs, the place of honor at a formal dinner is on the host's right-hand side. The groom stands on the right in the marriage ceremony, the bride on the left, a nonverbal message of the relative status of the two participants. We shake hands with our right hands, and it seems somehow wrong to shake hands with our left. Under left-handed, the dictionary lists as synonyms clumsy, awkward, insincere, and malicious. Synonyms for right-handed, however, are correct, indispensable, and reliable. Mind you, it is important to remember that when languages began, these contrasting terms were made up by early humans. Left hemispheres and left brain gave itself all the best words. Wow, you greedy bastard. The right brain, labeled, skewered, and vilified by the left, was without a verbal language of its own to defend itself. It's crazy. So, like we talked about a while ago, the left part of the brain is for the right hand. So, all these things is pretty much just saying how good and right and just and great right is and right-handed, or the left hemisphere. The right hemisphere of the brain, which is connected to your left hand, is like malicious, weak, awkward, all these crazy bad things. So it's like the left just kind of like took over when making these and was like, screw you, dude. You suck. I'm going to screw you up for the rest of history. So, I didn't realize there was this eternal beef going on inside of my brain. Wow. So, just kind of crazy. Yeah. Wow. And the final little paragraph here says, 2 ways of knowing. Along with the opposite connotations of left and right in our language, philosophers, teachers, and scientists from many different times and cultures have postulated concepts of the duality, or two-sidedness, of human nature and thought. The key idea is that there are 2 parallel ways of knowing. You are probably familiar with the following ideas embedded into our languages and cultures. The main divisions are between thinking and feeling, intellect and intuition, and objective analysis and subjective insight. Political writers say that people generally analyze the good and bad points of an issue and then vote on their gut feelings. The history of science is to replete with anecdotes about researchers who try repeatedly to figure out a problem and then have a dream in which the answer presents itself as a metaphor intuitively comprehended by the scientist. The statement regarding intuition by the 19th century mathematician Henry Poincaré is a vivid example of the process. In another context, people occasionally say about someone, the words sound okay, but something tells me not to trust him or her. Or I can't tell you in words exactly what it is, but there's something about that person that I like or dislike. These statements are intuitive observations, indicating that both sides of the brain are at work simultaneously, processing the same information in 2 different ways. Okay, so this is what it's talking about. Inside each of our skulls, therefore, we have a double brain with two ways of knowing. The dualities and differing characteristics of the two halves of the brain, intuitively expressed in our language, have a real basis in the physiology of the human brain. But because the connecting fibers of the corpus callosum are intact in normal brains and can block passage of information, we are often not fully aware of these contradictory responses occurring in the two halves. Whoa. Fuck. I didn't realize I was getting into all this, guys. I was trying to draw on the right side of my brain, but I guess that is definitely something you got to talk about. If we're going to draw on the right side of the brain, we got to learn that it's gone through some shit, through history. So, wow. That will conclude tonight's reading. I believe after this next half of the chapter, we will get into an actual drawing activity. So, this should be interesting. I know it's a lot of talking, a lot of reading. You know, I totally understand if, you should get past this stuff. But I figure I will read it on here for those who are interested. As I find, honestly, a lot of these topics, I had no idea. Like, I've heard a lot of these sayings, but never, thought very deeply into them, you know what I mean? So, it's really interesting stuff, and I feel like it does really tie into, it says right on the title here, enhancing your creativity and artistic confidence. But not even just that, just, understanding all of it and all the sides of it, so... super interesting, and honestly, I enjoy reading it. It's a little complex at times, but I'd rather it be like that than super dumbed down. So yeah, but right now, I'm gonna flip over my laundry, get some water in me, and hit this mural for a little bit, and then head to bed. I won't be super tired because I did just take a 3-hour nap, give or take. So yeah, it won't be too bad, but I feel like it never plays into my actual sleep, when I do these little naps. So I still want to be in bed pretty early. I'm not gonna count on those 3 or 4 hours and not making me tired and being able to get up. So yeah, so that's the plan. I'm gonna go check on her. I think she's just been grinding out her homework like a beast. So let me show you guys this real quick. I know I've been recording for 28 minutes, which is crazy, but Eliza is a beast at ceramics. She doesn't really like art. She doesn't have a great passion like I do. I've talked about this with her. We do a lot. We talk about it, but she's so naturally talented at this stuff. It's scary. And ceramics, she's really good at. She's just naturally good at it. She's never done any of this stuff before. She's a second year, but still. Let me just show you this real quick. She gave it to me today. I've been waiting on it for a while. Dude, I thought this was so cool. It's a tongue as the handle. A little uvula. I've just been calling it the freak mug because it looks like something I would wash my balls in. But yeah, I just think it was super cool. I don't know. Because she said the glaze didn't turn out very great, which... I really like the red. I think it honestly better than I could definitely do, but just thought that was really cool. So thought I'd show you guys and just tell you she's a freaking beast at this stuff. So that's why I told her. I was she even agreed with me that she should just transfer all of her artistic skills to me, and I'll put them to really good use. So regardless, shout out to Lisa for that one. I'm gonna go check in on her, get some water, do all the other things. But yeah, get a little reading session. If you're watching this to this point, I really appreciate it. Let me know your opinion of whether or not I should read like this, because 30 minutes of reading is pretty much a whole vlog. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think. But I really do appreciate you if you watch this far. So thanks.